Hi class, my name is Irma. I am going to share a service learning that I did on September 28th at 7:45 a.m. For service learning, I was a motor lab assistant, and what that is basically the school sets up what they call a motor lab for students who have difficulty sitting in class and paying attention. So they set up a system for them where they can go and kind of get their minds and bodies going for school. They kind of get their mind off whatever problems they're having at home. Most of the kids do have problems in their household or problems with other kids. So it's a good place for them to kind of take their mind off of it before school and start the day fresh. Motor Lab is located in the cafeteria at the school. It's actually in just this little room that they created up on the stage in the cafeteria. And basically, it's set up in 5 stations. There's a station with building blocks, like puzzle pieces that you would make on the floor. There's a station with a trampoline, a station with bean bags that you have to get into a bucket, a station with a mat and a blue ball, which you roll on, and then there's a station with beads where you can make necklaces or whatever else. And basically the students are paired into groups of 3, sometimes if it's really super crowded, groups of 4, and we count them into their activity, and they kind of work together, take turns, and keep moving and do the exercises that they're assigned for that each station. Today I observed 2 groups of kids during Motor Lab. In the first group was Brianna, Ronnie, Savannah, and Lisette. Brianna is a little blonde girl. She is in 1st grade. She's kind of like a social butterfly. She's not afraid to, tell it how it is, and she really just doesn't really care what anyone thinks of her. She's blonde, always in super girly, frilly little outfits. Ronnie is a little boy. He is in kindergarten, and he has chronic separation anxiety. So every morning that I saw Ronnie, he was usually crying because he didn't want to be away from his dad. Savannah is a little kindergarten girl. She is brunette, super small, super cute, very quiet, and she actually has a lot of anger issues, I guess you could call them. At one point in particular, I remember her punching an older student because they came into the bathroom and she was in the bathroom at the time. And then Lisette is a kindergartner as well. She is a little Asian girl. She also is very, keeps to herself. She's not very outspoken. Sometimes she'll come into class and have a hard time getting started. She'll just sit in the corner until she's ready to get started and do her stations. The reason I'm sharing today in particular is because since it was my first day, I didn't really know what to expect. And I thought it was kind of interesting because as Motor Lab started, most of the boys grouped up with the boys for the activities, and the girls grouped up with the girls. And it was interesting because Brianna didn't really group up with anybody. She was kind of all over the place, socializing with everyone. She wasn't afraid to hang out with the boys. She actually was like the only one accepted by the boys, really, in their groups. And I thought that was kind of interesting because in most cases, kids this age are kind of scared to hang out with the opposite sex, I guess. They don't want to, they don't want to hang out with the boys, and the boys don't really want to hang out with the girls, and they're not very welcoming to the girls. This is why I am going to connect Kimmel's gender identity definition and concept to my service learning for this day. This is on page 113. Kimmel defines gender identity as socially constructed. What we do mean is that our identities are a fluid assemblage of the meanings and behaviors that we construct from our values, images, and prescriptions we find in the world around us. Our gendered identities are both voluntary, we choose to become who we are, and coerced. We are pressured, forced, sanctioned, and often physically beaten into submission to some rules. The reason I chose that was because although Brianna is a girl, she wears dresses, she is able to hang out with the girls, she's also welcome in the guys area, and she doesn't really care what anyone thinks about it. She is more than willing to play the boys' sport. She's more than willing, and she's also welcomed. So I think that she's not restricted by gender identity. She's kind of just a free spirit. She doesn't really construct any kind of identity. And I think that's everything. Thank you.